So we just got back into town from doing a photo shoot in Hillsburg, a really quaint little place not too far from here, maybe about 30 minutes. And funny story to tell you on the way. I'll show you that in a second. But also in today's episode, we're going to work on this week's weekly challenge. And I've got that coming up shortly as well in this video. So enjoy and on with the episode. So driving along, got the camera hanging out the window of the car like this, and then, well, I thought I would press the record button here to finish stop recording, and as I was slowing down, a gust of wind caught the camera, and the camera went like this. Its first few little war wounds here. Oh, look at the back of the mic. That's awesome. It'll buff out. Not so much. Alright, so we're ready to go for our weekly challenge for something close up and personal. And I couldn't think of anything more personal than money, and in this case a $20 bill. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on capturing a portion of the Queen's face, and what I'm going to use, oh, and to answer why is it taped down, you'll see that in a second. You'll also see why I have a little flap here. Using my trusty Polaroid box, mounted the piece of paper on white. You'll see why in a moment. And what I'm going to use for capturing the image is a 50mm lens on a DSLR. The reason why I'm using the 50mm is they're extremely sharp. And you could use a macro lens. They're already sharp. I don't find them incredibly useful. I find these more useful, and these are what are called extension tubes. And what they do is they essentially take the lens and move them a little bit further away from the camera. Not so much different from using like a magnifying glass. When you sort of pull it up, the image gets bigger. So anyway, you can use one, or in my case, you can stack them. And in this case, we're using a 36, a 20, and a 12 all together. So we're 36, 56, 66, 68 millimeters out. Mount the lens on that, and now we're ready to go. So we're going to mount this on the camera. There we go. And you're probably wondering why I have a spotlight. Well, I'm going to turn that on and explain why. Okay, so the reason why it's on a white piece of paper is I'm going to be extremely close to this, and I want to be able to reflect back as much light as possible. And the tab here is, it's more difficult to move the camera than it is to move this. So I want to do this, but I don't want to crinkle the paper. So here we go. And I'm going to show you just how close we're actually going to be. I am within probably about 3 or 4 millimeters. And here we go. And there you go. Again, I'll take another one just to make sure, but that's just to give you an idea of how close that shot actually is, and how I went together and put it together. So anyway, at the end of the video, we'll show you the final results. Hope you enjoyed.